we are going to go over how enzymes work. So in our lab, we are watching this reaction, hydrogen peroxide breaking down into water and oxygen. Okay. So we were also looking at the enzyme peroxidase. So it's important to know that ase, that suffix means enzyme. Okay. So peroxidase is an enzyme that works on peroxide. Okay. So let's imagine that peroxide looks like this. Wait, sorry, not peroxide. This is peroxidase. This is the enzyme. Okay. The enzyme has a specific shape, and it's always going to match up with whatever it's going to act on. So in this case, this was the peroxide. Okay. So what happens is the enzyme is by itself, and it finds the shape that matches up with it, and once it binds, so step one would be bind, and we have something that looks like this. Okay. Then step two is whatever the reaction is, it happens. So in this case, the reaction was for the peroxidase to break up. So make that a little bigger so you can see it. So the peroxidase breaks into, the peroxide, the hydrogen peroxide breaks into water and oxygen, two products. Once that happens, the products leave. And as we discussed, after that's over, the enzyme is left unaffected. So that was the reason why, right, if this enzyme comes across another hydrogen peroxide, the same reaction will happen again. The reason why this all happens is because of something very important theme in biology, which is the fact that chemical shape makes things happen. The shapes fit together, so they work together. Okay. Now this red that I have here has a general term, and that is substrate. So what we have is enzymes and substrates. The enzyme does the speeding up, and the substrate is what the enzyme works on. I can't read that. Works on. So in this case, it was the hydrogen peroxide. The peroxidase found the hydrogen peroxide, broke it up. So this right here has a special name, and that's called the enzyme substrate complex. And that just means it's the enzyme and the substrate bound together, binding. Okay. And that's basically what you need to know for that, for how the, how the enzyme does it. It's all based on chemical shape. Okay. And now activation energy. Okay. Activation energy is the energy needed to start a reaction. an enzyme will lower the activation energy. Okay, so normally this is energy on a graph and this is time. Normally it looks something like this. Okay, you're putting in all this energy, putting it all in, and then once you get to a certain point right here, that's the activation energy right there, then the reaction's able to happen. If you have an enzyme in the mix, the reaction becomes easier to happen because the enzyme lowers the activation energy. So instead of being all the way up here, now the activation energy with an enzyme is lower. So the reaction happens much quicker because of that. Okay. Two main things. That's it.